going poorly and we tilted, and then we had to play the hard side, we were done. So we just got it out of the way while we were focused and concentrated at the start.
Yeah, fair play. Well, here we go then. Molotov thrown towards the squeaky door position, denying any sort of CT access. We're going to have Voxic here up and towards that heaven position. Chris J, lovely work with the USP. He is very good with that weapon. The bomb goes down. It's not a disastrous position for it to be in. It has to be recovered, but it has bought mousesports some time to reposition here. And was that a shadow spotted by Rob towards up top? Yeah, it was. He actually saw them there. I'm not sure whether he processed that information, but here's Carrigan now overwhelmed and taken down.
So just two remaining Rops and Frozen, the young stars, the fraggers. They've already got one, Bubsky, but Frozen's gone. He's traded out by Roy immediately after, and Rops, he couldn't hit the shots. Acor got time to put the bomb down and turn back with a picked up USP and silence him. So we got 1-0 for Mad Lions. Remember, both pistols on Dust 2 were won by mousesports, so that's already a change to start off this map. Go back to my logic sort of about the tilting. That doesn't really happen as much with these guys. These guys are pro teams. They're more composed.
Yes.
So you can't really apply that same standard or maybe necessarily try and do that for the same reasons. You know, me and my friends and joking around and yelling a lot is a little bit different than their discipline. So,
yeah, here are the odds from GG.bet. Of course, mousesports the heavy favorites right now, but after winning that T-pistol, this is the round that might sway those odds slightly. You're going to have a vent dive here as Shush looks for anyone following down that position. As he goes towards the ramp here, 1 kill found, maybe a second for Chris J as he dumps a very nice HE. That's going to do a load of damage there, almost 100 as he retreats down towards lower. He's certainly softened them up for their entrance towards the ramp. He felt like he's going to get 2 here, but not quite. But the damage has been done as we enter the 3-on-3 here. Very viable for the CDs to win this one. Good preemptive shots towards the vents, not quite enough though. Carrigan comes out on top here, but the bomb to be planted. I like that from Carrigan. If he can deny that, he might set his teammate up for a 1v1 clutch. But now it's Frozen. UMP in hands. Molotov and HE available, and of course, no kits.
Frozen trying to be silent to sneak in. Hunden's already actually vacated by heading through decontamination. He's the low HP player. The nade will bring Roy down to a similar situation. Molotov on top of it? That's insane. And Hunden's, as we said, left. He's far away. This is a bit of a problem, though, because there's no kit. He's got to hold a 10-second defuse. So the fact that Hunden's going to go around this far, time in itself becomes all that Frozen needed. If he had actually got on that immediately and diffused it, he would have got away with it, but he was not expecting a lack of a peek.
Look at Hunden's smile there. He knows. You're not touching the bomb against Hunden. He's inside your head.
At least he gets an AK and gets away, but yeah, you're absolutely right. He didn't have to do anything to win the round.
He was basically AFK there, just laughing, knowing he had it. But still, very cool stuff from Frozen there. The HE towards Shadow, the follow-up Molotov as well, gets himself a kill. You're right, if he sticks the bomb there, he actually wins the round. But of course, he assumes the peaks that come through.
I'll say he has a chance to win the round. Yeah. If Hunden sprints to the door, he might get there in time, and then all he has to do is get him off of it. So it was still in his favor, but yeah. Frozen was thinking it was going to be a far more challenging battle than that.
Well, 2-0, and in terms of the investment, they saved the AK-47. They've actually brought a bit more in than you would expect here. Some scouts and some deagles as well, trying to play off the fact they've got this in their favor. It's Roy getting taken down to, 12 points of health from the cross, not ideal, and another tag comes through. This is the power of the scout being displayed right now. Might not be finding all the kills, but in terms of ADR and round impact, this is absolutely massive.
Chris going to rotate off of the outside position, as we said. That's where you'd expect, although we mentioned the AWP, but Sniper in general to be so successful. Gets a little bit of damage, but the smokes just make it so difficult for him to do anything from that position. They Molotov off the stairs toward control room as well. That means the crossfire setup, which is often so potent, isn't established, and Carrigan Deagle can't do more than get a single kill. Mind you, Mouse still does have the man advantage as a result of that, and I thought Bubsky was going to pull it back. They go one better because Frozen finds a headshot at Hut. Voxic above knows that bomb is being planted. It's not going to hit the ground, at least not with a timer enabled on top of it, as Acor sneaks around back inside of the control room door, but very limited at this point in time. It looks like a 2-1 scoreline is inevitable.
Yeah, had the bomb gone down, there might have been a slight chance to actually close it out with no kits available, but this is looking very good for mousesports now. 30 seconds, surrounded and taken down. That's Robs to get the final kill. You can see that means a lot to them, managing to win with the scouts, especially there. It was Chris J hitting 2 tags at the very start of the round, softens them up for those Desert Eagles and AKs, and Frozen at the end, finding a couple of key frags there, and indeed bring the scoreline to 2-1, but you know there's going to be a buy and response coming in from the Mad Lions here. AK-47's available for mousesports, of course. Not too much you can do in terms of aggression on Nuke, but you can change the setups. You can send a few players towards outside. You can have one sniper towards secret. You can go for double orbs eventually, but I don't think we'll see that for a while, if at all.
decent nade damage to both Acor and Shush.
Hang on.
To still get the kills back, though. Both of those players I mentioned are the ones to barge through and find the entries in favor of Mad Lions, and it's going to go beyond that because Bubsky's actually pushed the smoke to the main entrance. He's finally gone down, Bubsky, but he got Chris J. And mousesports almost caught with their pants down, I think. They were resting on the fact that they had the choke points covered, but they were not expecting them to push through both Flames and Smoke.
Yeah, you're dead on, especially with they took so much damage at the start. You would think mousesports is going to mop them up here. One player gets caught out, and the snowball effect comes through. It turns into the Avalanche, and Rops will be left in a 4 versus 1 here. And sure, some damage has been done, but is he coming in for this? He's going to try and remove some of the AKs being saved. I guess even if he goes down himself, he'll deny one. No chance of doing much more than that. He'll make his way towards the ramp to survive with the smoke and the fuse kit, and of course that AK-47. But there it is. It will be Mad Lions stealing the round away with CZs.
Yeah, and you and a pistol, formerly 3 rounds was not impossible. Obviously, it's been brought a little closer by the new money system. You get a bonus earlier on. But 3 rounds this early in the half on the T side. I mean, mousesports definitely going to feel the pressure. Again, this is map 3. Mad Lions have already given them a contest on Vertigo, and yeah, they could. I can foresee them making it through to the final if they get even just a few more rounds, because it'll be a troublesome battle on the opposing side for mousesports.
God sent Mad Lions final.
I did float that possibility to Michael Lely because they are here, obviously, waiting for the next game. Navi is going to be playing against Godsent, but Michael Lely said, if we play Mad Lions in the final, we smoke them. Apparently, they've done it a bunch. He says, they're no problem for us.
And they're playing Navi as well. They've already played them in this tournament. They took a map off them. And actually,
you've heard of the Mamba mentality, but have you heard of the Lele mentality?
I can only imagine what it's like. Unstoppable, I'd imagine. But here we go. AWP's out now. Vox are going to be wielding his, and you'd assume towards outside. Like Matt said, you can go towards ramp as well, and this just might be a transition towards secret. We'll see what he's got in mind. Acor's not slowing down at all, it seems. He's going to be going straight through these flames, trying to open things up. There's lots of flashes, lots of confusion here. The trade should be coming through, but it's Carrigan and Frozen remaining ice cold towards the upper bomb site, and it's a clean sweep so far. 5-on-1, London with just the CZ here. Not really much he can do with it, hoping just to get a cheeky frag in the corner, but Ops has found him, should be able to take him down, no problem, running through the flames. And for that tactic to work, you really do need a very quick kill, and the flashes to be very effective. CT's is very comfortable holding that one off. And that should be the eco as well, to tie things up.
Should be. Definitely the eco, but should be the tie. We'll see if that transpires or not. Stranger things have happened. You can certainly push pistols toward the vent dive and get a bomb down, and things get a little awkward, but we'll see if Mouse can shut that out. They certainly have enough incendiaries that you'd expect they put one there quickly, even with the smoke going down. They are going to go for one player on a vent dive. The others are going to go to ramp. Voxic hits one, but has to fade away. They're aware of this. They've already rotated the single rifler down below the vent entry. Voxic, good catch, quite literally, as just fell through the air, and top of the red box. Neat little position, actually, because he can get a shot and drop. He doesn't land it, but he gets away, and you can see how defensive it is.
His movement is one of the best things about his game. Like, his high sensitivity and his precision is great, but the movement is so fun to watch.
I do think high sense players tend, I won't say they always do, because it's something that you practice and sometimes they just don't have it, but you have the potential for better movement because the air acceleration, the fact that you're able to whip and look different directions quicker. So it is something, it's a trade-off, and even like dodging flashes. I've played on your sensitivity, and it's like I'm blind every time a nade. I can see the nade, and I'll go to look away, and I'm still looking at it because I've not moved my arm far enough.
Yeah, I've been using that for so long, I can't get out of the low send zone. But here we go then, 3-3. Voxic's starting to get warmed up now. He said he couldn't have massive impact on Nuke, but he can certainly be influential with the opening picks. Looking towards outside for now, slight gap on either side, and there's that shot rattled off, not connecting this time. He's got a player towards Silo as well to be aware of in terms of the overall buy up against Galils, and a few AKs in the mix, a Desert Eagle to focus on utility here. That's what you'd expect from Mad Lions, to be honest with you. Got to be deploying the outside smokes eventually. You don't necessarily want to do them at the start of every round, but you want to be throwing them consistently out there, taking vision away, forcing a rotation, depending whether you want to use it or not. It spreads the CT defense a little thinner. Bomb still here in T-spawn. It's going to be Chris J just backing up the ramp room, throwing in the Molotov, allowing his teammate to reposition. 1 minute on the clock now, and the outside smoke should be coming eventually. There they are. Close one as well to take vision where you need that close one, so they can't actually spot whether you send 2 or 3 out there. You want to just remove as much info as possible.
Reverse smoke from the CTs. That favors anyone that would have been out toward the big garage, but it's not going to be anyone else peeking from the lockers. They will elevate one player into the heavens. Kerrigan's already gone, so is Frozen, so they better hope Heaven pays off. Voxic only with 1 kill so far. Aggressive on the AWP. Shut down immediately, and it's now 4 on 2. And Mad Lions, unwilling to relinquish the lead, will take one back. Acor's even ready for the fact that Chris is lurking around outside and is completely unaware that he's at that angle, so a clean deagle shot. AK at range, just trying to keep that off away from the T side, but this is decent. Again, 3, now 4 rounds. We're not even to the half of the half. I know that sounds weird. A quarter of the game. It's starting to add up already.
It's a big round. Very impressive seeing some Mad Lions there. Controlled, disciplined at the very start, working out what they're up against. Slow outside execution. Splitting towards that upper bomb side there, and they seem to just work so well. Their spacing's very good on Nuke when they commit to bomb sites. You can see there's always a second player right behind them, making sure they can trade kills out. Didn't really see that on Dust 2. You can see there was a lot of sloppy exchanges, like walking to key choke points. There's the odds from GG.bet.
Yeah, getting a little closer, understandably so.
And you always want to nade out the door as well. You don't necessarily have to dive down the vent, but just to keep that idea that could be happening, so they have to use the incendiary to start or smoke it out. Go for a pre-fire sometimes. Voxic gets his vision removed early on into the round. They've gone quickly towards the main entrance as well. Nice shot. But still, they're going to commit. Frozen more than ready for it. Looks like the round is done.
Yeah.
And nice fast pacing from Mad Lions. They're changing things up. Shush at this point just trying to cause some financial damage, but Voxic's not going to miss that shot. Nice work from him. 4-4.
Yeah, pretty solid overall, you have to say. And again, the op pretty smoked off, but it finds the kill. It finds the opening, gets the information that they're heading toward the main entrance. Frozen stands his ground. Now with 8 kills, tied with Voxic. The only one struggling for kill totals so far are the in-game leaders, and Kerrigan's not that far behind Chris. He's at 3. Hunden's only with 1 kill so far. Hunden's not really known for fragging. He is sort of the classic, sort of, I guess, excuse or joke about in-game leaders not being able to frag as efficiently. Kerrigan received a lot of that. Oh, good shot from Voxic. A lot of that criticism as well, and maybe that's why you asked yesterday, you know, why didn't North bring in someone like a Hunden?
Yeah.
That could be part of it, is it just takes away from the fragging a little bit. But he's certainly improved on that compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why they brought MSL in, for example. These are the big 3 within Denmark, right? I guess beneath Glaive, of course, in terms of available in-game leaders and that sort of thing. But here we go then. We've got Chris J trying to bait in Rops. It looks like it's a very efficient one. Easy as you like there. 5-4. And it will be mousesports taking the lead now on the CT side of Nuke. Mad Lions are having a pretty successful campaign so far. 4 rounds early on in the half. Nothing to be sneezed at all. See whether they can get a decent buy together here as we go into round 10. Looking quite calm over there. Mousesports.
Fairly composed. Finally in the lead on this CT side. Kerrigan's still using, I have to mention it, the AUG a lot. He has brought it out, I think. Well, he might be the only one that's brought it out. It's been carried over based on him passing on, you know, dying and having it brought out by someone else in the next round as a result. But I think he's purchased it a significant amount of times. And remember, it used to be very popular, but then it became expensive. They changed it slightly. But he seems to still be going with it. He's been having decent success with it so far this tournament, as Acor Op T side already up on top of Red Crate. As a result, they Molotov off of the secret stairs, and that's a smart play to make because that means no one can counter peek him and he can focus toward lockers, toward Heaven. Meanwhile, though, it's all the action on top of the site, on the floor, as Frozen finds 2 again. Take that back, he's got 1. Voxic supports it, but Shush is going to try and run him down, catch him off. He's done that easily, but it's traded by Rops, and he was the last alive, so that concludes the round.
Certainly does. mousesports with a very efficient upper hold there. You can see Frozen's aims are starting to swell in terms of skill now, getting stronger as the round go by. Certainly an issue for the Mad Lions. They're throwing everything they've got at mousesports so far. The executions, the suggestion they'll go down towards Secret, which they haven't really accessed so far. They've really been focused towards the upper bomb site. Haven't seen too much attention towards Secret or Ramp. All the teams favoring that side of the map. Considering if you do get the bomb down, you're in a fantastic post-line situation, as we'll see now. Glocks, Deagles, and probably a couple of Voxic kills here. Does take a bit of damage at the start, but should be absolutely fine. Chris J will be going down, though. Frozen to pick up the pieces here. Nice work. Big spray down. You can see the flashbang from Vox. They actually assisted with 3 of those kills.
Yeah, and hard to say if they were all blinded, but certainly it helps the situation. This isn't going to help the situation inside a garage for Voxic as he goes down, but Frozen closes out on that kill as well. That's an ace for him. So, yes, picking up scraps at the start and getting supported into it. He still hits the shots. That's crucial. mousesports with a 3-round lead. 4 in a row to achieve that. And now we'll get a pause because Mad Lions, I mentioned early on, yeah, you got 3 rounds, you got 4 rounds. It's looking good, but you still have to follow through on that. 4 is not enough to carry them alone.
If you get 4 early on and the half ends 11-4,
yes,
and you've got nothing again towards the end, you're still going to be feeling like quite hollow towards the end of that half, even though 4 is okay.
Yeah, and that is where, I guess, to pick apart the mentality again, that's where you do feel rather defeated at the end of the half, and you need to snap out of that very quickly when you swap over.
Really nice for Frozen, this one. Against an eco, sure, but you can see how crispy he's looking right now. Going to have a tactical timeout now to work out the options here for Hundred and Co. Next round beginning as we'll see the AK-47s and the AWP, I think, for the first time on the T side of Nuke here. It's a glass cannon situation for Acor. Trying to dive down the vents, Bubs. He does make it down. He actually doesn't commit in terms of the drop, doesn't want to make noise. He realizes he's safe, just crawls down the ladder itself, so they're not 100% sure if he's there, but they've got an inkling it could be a possibility. But now that should slow the round right down. Does he go towards ramp? Does he come secret? What kind of information can he gather? And Chris J trying to adjust now. Pushes towards outside. Carrigan will find Shush in the process, and still a 4-on-4.
Carrigan caught completely. He wanted to try and beat them to their play, to try and get towards secret before they could and capitalize, but he's caught off. Acor reads it. Whether he read it or checked it, either way he gets the kill. It's the man advantage again to Mad Lions, so the timeout yielding success so far. Roy's not going to go downstairs. He's going to go back. Good push from Frozen. He knew that if they lost downstairs as well, they need to get something back, and they don't have the information whether they've committed or not. So by going through to lobby, not only does it level the score, but it reveals they are still on the upper sights. AWP, though, for Acor. This is a good position for it to be in. Frozen walks directly into the crosshair. No chance for a trade based on the position of his teammates as well as they start to climb up. They're going to flash in. So Voxic will throw this through the door and out into the sky above the site. Voxic will peek immediately off of it. Or, excuse me, Rops will peek off of it, but doesn't go far enough, doesn't see anyone. And with 16 seconds, I think this becomes a save.
Yeah, I think you're right there. The money's pretty good on the CT side, but there's no point throwing it away. You know, I'm going to see Acor just flashing towards main entrance. Rops just looking for any exit kills at this stage. You can see he can no longer defuse the bomb. Just seeing if anyone's retreating at this stage. No one to be found. He'll have to fall back himself. And good job. Once again, that's from Acor. Some very influential picks of the AWP. One towards outside, one towards the lobby as well. Managing to silence a very aggressive and informed Frozen. As we go 7-5. Now, a couple more rounds to go. If they can get one more, 6 would be pretty secure, I'd say. They'd be happy with that. Sports with another full buy here, saving the AK. They've got an AWP for Voxic once more. The old AUG for Carrigan, one of the few users of it. Is there going to be any changes set up here? Rops towards ramp. Always in the anchor positions.
Lots of smoke down toward the squeaky door. Rops. He'll hold the angle toward radio. He's aggressive to try and hold this with an AK. He knows the utility's gone behind him, and that means they're going in. He finds all 3. AK CT side. You can see the potency the headshots have. Remember, the M4 doesn't do that, so having an AK on the defensive side of things makes it much easier to hold those angles and be
ramp
aggressive.
Especially, because that's a position you're normally isolated alone and you're just playing for information. You have to drop after an M4 dink, but you can stay and fight with the AK. That's cool.
And you could push up and spray like that, because usually you're going to catch them off there in that situation and go for a spray, but you might only get 1 or 2. With the AK, he gets 3 headshots. That was clean.
Yeah, that was real nice. Well, looks like we might be all said and done here. Perhaps not. Roy does catch Voxic out of position. Same story for Chris J as well. They could actually transition this. They're going to throw a Molotov in towards the vent. It forces one of them out. Is that Carrigan? It must be with the AUG.
Wow, Roy.
How has this happened, Matt? It was a 2-on-1. It looked like we were just about to call a save, look to see what they can do, hold on to the AKs. All of a sudden, 3 kills out of nowhere, and it goes down, not even to a 1-on-1. Hunden closes the round out, 7-6. That might shatter the money as well. We'll have a look. I think they've got one more strong buy left in them.
They do, yeah.
So, Mad Lions, they could actually come back and win this half still. That would be, I kind of want that to happen. I really want to see the pressure. Like, I think that would be 6 storyline now. Like, you kind of break them at the very end after mousesports looks so convincing.
I mean, that was impressive to come back. Roy did so well. I'm surprised Chris wasn't able to react sooner, but obviously he was expecting company from ramp around the same time and felt obligated to hold that angle instead.
Well, you've been talking about it most of the event. Roy steps up once again. Very impressive sequence there. They've brought themselves right back into this game in those 2 rounds. AWP still available on both sides. Rifles across the board for Mad Lions, so the lack of helmets not going to be a huge deal here for mousesports. It was in the first map of Vertigo, that's for sure.
Bubsky to work Secret, or excuse me, Squeaky. I do stumble between the two of those at times, but smoke down, they won't be going anywhere just yet. Kerrigan's the one on top of the hut that will watch downward onto that door, and Frozen needs therefore to support the reverse side so that he's not pinched. And left with little to work with. Nades a little bit early from Frozen. They're both going to back off. They're both going to change positions, and that's because the Molotovs came through the skylight. Up above is Chris J. Manages to reset his aim. That was close because aiming straight down is a tricky thing to do. Obviously, you get blocked in that sense with your aim, and he had to reset. His mouse would have been very low on the desk at that point in time. Acor's left with 2 to find. AWP, but he's going to get flanked. And mousesports take back control and win the half. So deny your dream, Henry.
A distant dream at this point. We're going to see what cash is available for the Mad Lions at the end. Has a solid hold there towards Upper. Chris J especially. I'm not sure how he survived for so long. So many bullets flying his general direction. Upper once again the focus. But final round coming through. Mac 10's now out. Helmets purchased though for mousesports, so not so much a deadly factor. Gill's there as well. I think just a pistol for old Bubsky. He's got a P250 as they smoke towards, not even outside, a couple of Molotov support towards the hut roof. Here's the smoke towards outside now, but Voxic hasn't missed many shots today. Looking for an opportunity. Check silo. And now the outside smokes are down. Chris J doesn't want to battle it, is maybe transitioning towards lower already.
Chance shot for Voxic or not. He knows they're lurking on the backside of that smoke, but Kerrigan, meanwhile, has Bubsky upstairs. That's the late lurk and the only activity they've seen on that port of the map. So watch for the rotations to get down below. They've got to be a little bit careful about doing it because so far they're a bit slow. They still have a player toward the lockers. Interesting hesitation from Mad Lions. Inside Secret, there's no one else to watch outside, so they're even considering the fact that someone could have snuck around the big garage and gotten in behind them, but never checked, never a problem, it turns out. Meanwhile, the Molotov will send one CT scurrying, and they'll get the noise cue as a result. So Rops goes deep inside of the site. He'll play the orange box. Decontamination door to his right. He'll hear that open, but probably won't peek it. That'll be Frozen above that will do so because he has the coverage, but he has to be aware of control room. Frozen's going to check it early. Door open, flash in. But he's seen the Molotov from the window, so he has to control this angle. Needs to be aware they sneak through the smoke. He had the right anticipation, but no kill as a result. Tough to rotate the aim when looking straight up as well, as Rops only gets one, but Shush trades off of him. They're only down a man. Bomb planted. You can actually give the advantage slightly to them in the fact that they've smoked off decontamination. If they find the kill at ramp, they certainly could control that round because they could fall back and use that as coverage. Peek accordingly. Hunden has that chance now, but Kerrigan was already inside of the site.
Felt like there was a chance there. Aim wasn't far off, getting the headshot towards Kerrigan. I like that setup as well from Frozen and Rob there towards lower. Instead of taking single duels towards the steps position, they actually enter the bomb site themselves towards Shadow on the bomb site, just kind of transitioning between each other. That means Frozen's then watching the ramp, Rob's focusing towards that window / double door situation. But as you mentioned, aiming down is hard. Aiming up is almost impossible. You've got players jumping around on Mac 10s and you kind of flashed as well. Difficult kill to find, but he still managed to get one. Bought his team enough time. And there we have it. Bomb diffuser will be 9-6 as we switch things over now. We'll have mousesports on the T side. We'll have a look at the complexion of their buy. You know, the GG.bet odds. You can see mousesports the heavy favorite to close out this last map of the series. 2 smokes, Molotov, HE suggests they'll be going through the door, maybe trying to have a player down in that position. Naded it out. And heading towards ramp as well. Did anyone make it down? No, they did not.
Don't forget on GG.bet, you can use the code HEART-BEAT. They'll give you a 200% increase on your first bet. Whether that's the semifinals today, the finals tomorrow, you take the pick. This game's still anyone's. This series is anyone's as a result of it. Rops to find Hunden. Brings us back to a 4-on-4. Bubsky gonna open that door. I was surprised that was good use of sound. He knew exactly where to aim to catch off Voxic to not give him a chance to turn, and he goes better than that. He finds Rops coming into his own. Yesterday, he didn't step up enough, in my opinion, Bubsky, but you mentioned him as a highlight player. Today, he's looking more like it.
Absolutely. That was a very brazen approach towards the double doors that actually makes it work with clinical aim there. And Roy, I should say, will be finding us a 3-on-1 situation. Bubsy to close things out there. What a round from him. So brave, just opening those double doors. Quick headshot, closes them up towards the window. And it was a nice plan, to be fair, coming in from mousesports. But do they want to buy in the second round, considering they only got a couple of frags there? You could wait and have a really strong buy in the third.
Both pistols, by the way, now going to Mad Lions.
Yeah, good point.
And that sometimes is enough to push it over the edge. Obviously, they're coming back from a 9-6 half, but they started T-side. Now they have the momentum.
Well, bear in mind, we have got a force coming in here, by the looks of things. Robs purchases armor. It will be Voxic to drop a Krieg, I believe, or it was Chris J to get that weapon out. And I think that's all they're going for. So they are going to buy next round, but I still like this. This is what Na'Vi really started with simple originally. Give him an AK when you're taking an eco, knowing you're going to be buying next round. Sure, he might not be able to do a massive amount here, but if he gets you a bomb plant and a couple of kills, it limits them going forward, and you're going to have one player on a pistol with 4 rifles. It's still very viable, especially if they're not expecting it. We'll see if Robs can crack things open towards ramp.
Shot lands. Kerrigan takes the damage from the scout, and that's why the nades follow up, because they just want to take him down cleanly and get that over with, get one less to deal with. Shush falls off it. Did he spot the Krieg or not? There was no shot back from Robs.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fire off any bullets until he actually has a locked-in kill here. But there it is. Nice work from Shush. Playing ramp perfectly. That's all he has to do. It's not a bomb site. You can allow him to have it. He's got his 1 kill. He's dropped down. Carrigan's going to be taken as well. Did well to find some damage towards Hunden. But essentially a 5-on-3 now. Rob's still alive. If they get a plant, especially towards lower, he can win these rounds for them. But need to get it down first.
Yeah, it's a tough call to make as well. He's invested so heavily that you want to make it worth it. You need to get an opening now. They need to almost let the pistols do it. That's why Frozen's going first, because if he goes first, if it goes down, it's such a loss. And it is going to be a loss. The round as well, 9-8. Mad Lions control the situation. Robs only got 1 kill with that rifle and then could not get any further, and no bomb plant makes it even worse.
Well, here we go then. They can still get those 4 AKs out. There'll be 1 player on a pistol. I don't think it will be Robs. It will probably be a Carrigan. I would imagine he'll have to take the compromise here with either a pistol or a MAC-10. Could go Galil, I suppose, with the price reduction. We're all still getting used to that. It's now $1,800 instead of $2,000. So what's the play? So it's a CZ. Chris J being the selfless one here, taking the hit. So 4 rifles. Robs on the AK this time. And some of the AK plays he had towards the tail end of 2019, I'm sure he's more than ready to cause some damage here. Still with 4 smokes, flashbangs and Molotovs. Just waiting to see what they're up against here. MP9 400 as he plays towards that hub position. Outside smoke's about to be deployed. These look likely to be the ones that block vision from main entrance and the garage. You can actually focus towards the warehouse area itself. It's a variation of the outside approach here. And you can see Roy, no stranger to it. Gets a flash from his teammate. Quick kill, falls back, uses the smoke to his advantage, and that HE should be able to nail a kill. Not quite aware of it, but 2 scout shots landing now.
Kerrigan, man, he's been battered by the scouts so far in this half. Second round in a row, he's going to get tagged down to a prime position for a pistol to take him down. He's only on 28 HP. Hunden's going to wrap back down through the control stairs. Voxic has been found. Shush will add to the kill total for Mad Lions, and it is a slaughter. They get the bomb in position, but they need. Not able to hold out the CTs at all, and not on top of that, they barely get any kills. So this is getting to be a bit of a problem. mousesports not going to have much to work with. Mad Lions back in a tie situation at 9-9.
9-9. Just what you want in this third and final map. Pressure. I would say more so on the mousesports side. They're the big name of this tournament.
Yep.
You'd expect with the lineup we have, it was going to be them and Na'Vi in the final potentially. Still likely to happen, but we'll see if they can close this one out. Tactical time out of this point. This is where things get interesting. T-side play for mousesports. What have they got up their sleeve? We saw them have to bring out the emergency boosts on Vertigo. Will we have to see any more of those brought out? See, they've been doing their homework.
Yeah, not as many available, I think, on Nuke. Most people would be aware of them.
Yeah, there's a few smokes that are like coming through, like smokes I've never seen before. I think it's NIP. At the end of last year, they actually had this smoke that landed on T roof that bloomed on the T side of it, but actually blocked all the vision above huts. You couldn't sit in that position. That was like a really cool one. I haven't seen it too much since then, but that was quite innovative. And it's going to be mousesports on the CZ, rushing towards Ram. He sees Shush, doesn't want to be anything to do with it. He goes down and gives him a rifle. He knows that's going to be lower bomb site, completely wide open. It still might be at this point, but well positioned, looking good for maybe two. Not going to happen.
He's got support. Bubsky's still there on the similar angle. He's got to go back through the door, stays alive. Only one kill. Keeps the gun on the ground, though. They've now only recovered the AK, and Bubsky was aware that they would be going for it. So where's the first place he looks when he opens the door and re-enters? Well, it's directly toward Chris J. So we've only got 2 players left. Again, this is about to be Mad Lions taking the lead. First time since it was 4-3. Looks like trying to slow the pace, slow the tempo, hope someone makes a mistake, but it's unlikely at this point in time that they will. He also doesn't have a teammate to do anything, even if he finds one kill. If he gets traded, that's pretty much it. Rop's just getting toward the secret stairs now. Not much available to him either on secret. Does get him closer to his teammate, sure. Bubsky's got to go back toward the stairs, though, and if he checks it, that headshot angle. Look how aware he is, though. He knows he hasn't peeked toward the halls. He's fully aware of the fact that someone could be there. So just by sitting back and playing passive, it guarantees him that they're going to walk toward him rather than him go up toward the stairs. Rop's sitting there with a deagle, gets the headshot angle already set. So smart process of elimination. Bomb plant at this point just to get money for the team. And that's not to win the rounds.
That's fine. You're happy then to bomb. They got maximum loss bonus after this one anyway. So bomb down, they were going to have a full buy. Sure, it helps them out somewhat. But it's going to be now Mad Lions taking the lead on the CT side in our second half. 10-9. This would be a massive upset. Like the best of 3, they goes the distance, and we had a real strong performance from mousesports in the second map as well. This would be a really kind of crazy result to come through. Like just in the context of how good mousesports were towards the end of 2019 and like coming into this year, their first big tournament. This would be a significant defeat for them.
Yep, absolutely. No question about it. I mean, we said that mousesports and Na'Vi had to be the favorites. They got the buys into the semifinals, so you'd expect that that was true. But Mad Lions have been building into this event.
Yeah. Kriegs out in full force here. Just Chris J on the AK-47. See if this reposition from Roy will bear any fruit for them. I like that spot. AK in hand as well. He's feeling himself. Had a great tournament so far. One of the big names. And goes for Bubsky, showing us what he's made of here on Nuke. 14 kills to his name so far. He's got himself a defensive Krieg as well. A couple of AKs kicking around. You've got, actually 2 Kriegs, 2 AKs and an AWP. That's idyllic on the CT side.
A-core to watch toward the top of the silo. Roy down but up beneath. Frozen reads it. Smoke in position. He's able to swing. No one to respond. A-core's position is a lovely one, but can't do anything about that.
You see him baited out as well, knowing the shadow was going to force some sort of preemptive shots there. Gave himself a guaranteed frag, and
it's
now...
not often people are aware of their own shadow, but again, it's a problem with the game. You don't see your own shadow, but it is such a huge factor.
Yeah, it is a bit of an issue with the game, fortunately. Chris J will be bringing things into massive mousesports' favor, and just Bubsky on the side now. If he can find a couple of kills with backup from Shush, there could be a chance. I'm not sure they'll be aware of the play on the bomb side floor, but Chris J will check it. That confirms the round at this point. 30 seconds remaining, doesn't even matter. Final kill comes through, and a change of setup there from Mad Lions, but ultimately mousesports looking very comfortable towards the end. Cash available on the CT side. They will no longer have the T weapons, though. As I mentioned, 2 Kriegs, 2 AKs, and an AWP. Doesn't get much better than that. But mousesports take away every single weapon there. M4s now, and the AWP once again, and 5 Kriegs on the T side.
Five Kriegs is a pretty powerful combination, if you call it a combination. Already lost one. A-core's got Kerrigan down. And with that single kill, he's going to be dynamic. So they have options for the AWP at this point in time. He's already been spotted outside. Talks about utility and how that can certainly render him useless in that position. So instead, he can go to heaven, or he can go over toward the ramp, and that'll allow a rotation to go back the other way for a rifle. That's exactly what Roy does instead. And if they swing toward the main entrance, he'll be in prime position on that M4. Acor, bit of a tricky position to be in with an AWP. Not the headshot angle, gives him more to fire at, and he can backpedal and fall into the ramp for safety. Granted, his feet aren't spotted first. Upski. He didn't hit him. Molotov's on top. He's got to get out of there. He's not burned this. He's trying to go for a one and then trade himself at that point in time. It works. He at least gets rocked down before he perishes. That gives his defensive core a bit more of a chance. And as a result, Roy's able to swing back out and find Frozen.
I like that a lot. The commitment to the Flames has given them a winnable scenario here, but this is the kill that really counts. Oh, wow. Great shot from Shush here. Should be able to close things out. Not quite. Well, there it is. It's going to be Roy with the incendiary kill from Heaven with 7 HP to his name as well. 11-10, back and forth we go. Only one round picked up from mousesports out of the previous. And in terms of cash, their finances should be pretty good with the loss bonus accumulated. But this is a very, very important round now. They'll have to invest everything. Again, going for those slightly more expensive Kriegs. All power for Voxy this time on the T side. Presumably going towards outer. Maybe the silo, we'll see.
Frozen's Alex to go to the AK. It's not like he couldn't afford the Krieg. He still has $2,000, so by choice, Voxy gets around behind Red Crate. He'll hold toward the big garage. No activity yet, but there is on the ground. Caught out. Frozen actually ducks under Roy. I thought he had a perfect position to get that kill.
Yeah, a little bit overwhelmed there. Lots of footsteps and lots of headshots. Frozen gets his second of the round. As Shush going down, this could be very difficult to recover now. 5-on-3 against mousesports, who have got 1 minute 20 on the clock. I guess the one positive you can look towards here is that mousesports don't have many grenades, but they keep finding kill after kill. That's Voxy towards the ramp now, finding Bubsky. Acor left to the orb. Hunden would have to do something magical at this point to save the round. Smokes towards main entrance. He knows he needs to find some sort of positional advantage here. Goes towards the vents. And mousesports are playing this perfectly. They've still got plenty of time to put the brakes on. Someone's going to have to explore eventually. Make a mistake, overcommit. They've confirmed that upper is clear, and that's where they'll finish up.
Molotov goes toward the hut. Hunden stays down below. This one's a save. They're just waiting it out, as you say. So we'll get back to an 11-11 game. Back and forth. Someone will have to blink soon because this money is getting tense on either side. AWP saved with Acor pre-round has 35-50, so we can get one gun out. It's only a 1 round bonus though, so they're not going to get a whole lot more on top of it. $18.50 for Hunden. Shush, only the $1,400 they're about to receive. They're not really going to be in a prime position to buy. In fact, you might bring out, if you get 3 rifles, you might force it out and get utility on the other 2. But you could also just try and let the op go to work and save the money and build up the economy again, because if you start to break yourself down this late in the game, you're going to give a lead that you can't recover.
Especially a team that are overwhelmed by firepower right now. You're going to need all your bells and whistles on. You're going to need your grenades, and Nuke is very dependent on the incendiaries as well. I don't think Mad Lions are the sort of team that are trying to force the issue here too much, but and we'll see Bubsky actually invest a lot of money there. He's taken himself down to, what, $300? He can get a P250 on top of that USP. So it looks like they will be committing to this. They've saved an open rifle. There's still buffer time here, but it looks like they want to try and answer back quickly. It will be a resounding success if it works out. The money will be shifted dramatically in their favor. This is a big, big moment within this series. Could be indicative of who's taking it. MP9s, M4s, the saved AWP as well. Might want to switch up the orb's position. And this sort of round, we'll see. He's got a decent spawn. Go straight towards main entrance and look towards Squeaky. Or we haven't really seen him as secret so much yet. Acor's going to be heading at least towards the ramp. The fact he smokes suggests he will go secret right now, so that's a nice change of pace. And the opening pick for Voxic, though, he goes towards Squeaky Door, just nails it. Puts pressure now towards Acor to really commit towards secret and go for a pick here. We'll see whether he wants to do it, making his way around the steps. Oh, brutal. Frozen just looks so good today.
Ops, that's easy pickings. Or it was. He knew he went up the ladder. The problem is he's got to go up and get out himself without being spotted. If he gets turned on at that point, he's dead. He's defenseless, but it works. He gets Shush. Now he has access to the upper sight and vision above, but it's Acor that remains. And mousesports back-to-back rounds. That's in the last 4. Frozen even getting the kill. No AWP saved.
Just that individual skill now shining very bright indeed.
It needs to. And I mean, it's hard to believe, but yeah, it's come to that. On a team game, Mad Lions has kept them honest.
You see Frozen just dumpstering them in some of these rounds. Robs is starting to look very sharp as well. Good coordination, good pincer approach towards the bomb sites here, and it's a full eco for Mad Lions. They're going to be 13-11 down here, and there's something unbelievable occurs here. Outside stack, no grenades to throw off it. I think that it's going to be rushing towards T-spawn. They'll kill Frozen eventually. And there we go. He'll get 2 kills. He's confirmed there's more players out. They can go plant towards upper now. They don't even need to be part of this, really. If anything, just risking losing another rifle, but they still want to give it a go, it seems. Rops, if he goes down as well, this is a very expensive round for them. But there, it looks under control now.
Yeah, very much so. It's always awkward when the CGs get that far forward. You still have the player lingering behind, because if he had actually gone down to the previous, we'd be in a 2-on-2 right now. They still have the advantage. Flash goes up. Shush just going to be contained. Bomb still ticking. Nothing more can be done of this. The fact that they lost Rops, though, is still a little bit costly, and Mad Lions trying to work back into this game. They don't just want to worry about their own economy. They want to try and make it so that when they have it, it's, oh, that's pretty cool, just hanging out. When they do have it, they can actually break the other side. So if they let them get too far out of control, it means they've got 2 battles to win as opposed to 1.
mousesports taking a bit of a convincing lead now on their T side. We have said it multiple times throughout this tournament, it's not the CT lockdown it used to be here on Nuke. 13-11, mousesports to 3 rounds in a row, and a weak buy here from Mad Lions, and very fast approach from Voxic. He knows he can hit any shot out here, and his teammate feeling the same. That's Carrigan dropping down from main entrance, finds Hunden quickly. He continues that pace towards the heaven position as well. Wants to make them uncomfortable as possible. Bubsky pulls one back. And Roy keeping them in the round here. They actually have the man advantage now. Can they hold on to it? Maybe not with this position from Carrigan.
Nate'll soften up the CT in the garage. Not quite. Didn't even do any damage to Roy. Just got him behind him. I think he was around the box enough. Acor's going to go ahead and take care of Carrigan in the meantime, though. Due diligence to make sure his teammate survives, and Chris J is left in a 1-on-4. HP for Roy and Bubsky, certainly achievable, but Shush and Acor remain with 100 each, and he's just missed the opportunity to catch a player lurking across the doorway inside of Squeaky, although he does hear it. Tries to respond to the noise. Remember, there's no window. I almost think his muscle memory and his reaction was to try and look at the window in the hut, but there is no window there anymore, so it's impossible to see. It still does manage to get the kill. They're not going to overreact on the CT side as a result of that. They've got the bomb sites, or at least the access to them, covered off, so Chris just buying his time, really, and looking to try and do damage to the money.
Well, I don't think he have much of a chance, because Shush is in a great position here just to close things out. Denies everything. That's a big round for Mad Lions. It felt like this one was spiraling a little bit for them after losing 3 rounds in a row. They had quite a scrappy buy there as well with just M4s, but they hold on. Managed to recover an AWP as well. There's a couple of Kriegs thrown into the mix. It's the frags coming through. Roy and Bubsky at the very top. It's what you like to see. Frozen. Oh my goodness, he's killing it. 26 frags.
Yep, not bad at all. Exactly 26 rounds into the game. Well, 25 completed, so he's one ahead, actually, but we're on the 26th round. Nade to Squeaky again. Smoke goes deeper through it. This is oftentimes when you'll see the vent dive, and they're certainly ready for it. Bubsky's got a nade. Wants to throw in. They haven't put any activity in that direction, though. No feet stomping toward the vents, so there's no panic as of yet for the CTs. They are ready for the hut entrance, though. In fact, they actually lured them over toward the doorway and looked to the right. Carrigan gets flashed in. It's a decent entrance, but a good hold from Hunden to find 2. We talked about his frag potential. Doesn't matter how many he has, it's how important the ones he does get are, and those 2 are big. Molotov to hold off Heaven, and he's forced out Hunden down below, so they've got control of the site, Mouse.
Not the best Molotov, actually. It's landed too deep, so they still have some control in that area. Flashbang coming through. This is big now. That kill has to come in for Shush, which it does, but Frozen, he hasn't missed many today, and that is massive. 14-12, third and final map here. Money will be in tatters for Mad Lions. $2,000 on Bubsky, less than that for Acor. Do they buy? Do they take the ultimate risk here? Or do they yield and allow them to get to series point? They need 3 in a row on their CT side. It's pick your poison at this moment. I assume they'll take a pause I think you have to save maybe. You're more likely to do it. Yeah, they've gone for it. So 3 rounds in a row on the CD side of Nuke. They'd rather go down with weapons in the hand than drop with shotguns and SMGs.
Flash deep to the corner. No one there, but they'll not rely on anticipation. They'll clear it either way. Pistols stacked toward the ramp is going to yield nothing, but they'll slowly rotate back. Good news is about a stack is that you can actually work as a unit to go back in the other direction. They've already lost Bubsky. He was the only one that was separate from them. Molotov this time doesn't go deep. It's thrown from a different angle. They'll spray the smoke. They're ready for this. They just can't find where it is.
Here come the CTs. If they can find anything out of this, I'll be impressed. That smoke down pretty much denies any sort of access to the bomb site here. Going to be throwing some grenades. Doesn't do too much for them. And here they come, the Swarm. Do they have a kit maybe? Is there something there? I don't think so.
No kit. 10 seconds left. They've all turned back. You're right. It was looking like they were leaving the site a little bit early. If there was a kit, I might have considered it. But no, they kept that under control, and everyone in the lobby came back just in case. Map and series point for mousesports. One more, and they'll find themselves in the final against either Na'Vi or Godsent, which is our next semifinal. That's immediately after this game.
Well, this is it now. Chips are down. 1 round for mousesports, and they are through. It's a best-of-5 grand final as well. So.
It is, yeah. It's going to be a good one tomorrow. Mousesports Na'Vi best-of-5 maybe would be amazing. I think Godsent getting in. We'll see how much depth they can bring to their map pool. Mad Lions, certainly, we've touched on it. They have a really decent pool right now, but they've got other problems to worry about first.
Yeah, this is a problematic situation now. They took the full eco in the previous round to enable them to get a bye here, and it's not going to be the best of buys. It will be just enough to win a round, similar to what they had before. So you can see a severe lack of incendiaries. They have 1 defuse kit. They do have the AWP. Luckily, the players of our helmets won't be punished too much because we have a full array of rifles here. Fast pace once again for potentially Voxic. He keeps trying to punish his position as he deploys smokes already towards outside. Carrigan sets his teammates up with the flashbangs here. Acorn needs to hit a great shot, which he does. Christian removed, can't get the second. Nice straight from Carrigan.
Spray control from Rops, successful. We did the same on Carrigan, however. Bubsky's going to try and beat them down below, but he's already late. 3 on 3. If he gets a kill, however, in the window, things change, but traded out as Voxic nails the headshot in return. And Roy knows what's next. He needs to get this kill on Voxic, and he cannot. Otherwise, this series might be over. It's Hunden versus 2.
Yeah, Hunden with no kits. An HE grenade in a flash. I think we might be done here. He's got 25 seconds on the clock. Takes a bullet to the face, luckily through the wall, won't go down straight away, and now a desperate grenade. Doesn't do any damage. 20 seconds remaining. He's got nothing to work with at all, and that's going to be a nice comeback from mousesports there. Losing both pistols as well, you noted that. That should be the difference maker if they were equally matched. That suggests they weren't really, and it seemed just in terms of individual form there, Frozen just devoured them towards the end of that series.
He was excellent this game, and what a time to do it. Rob's